it's Karen from High Definition U here. I'm a High Definition U coach, and I have been lucky enough to work with the brilliant Ilse over the last 3 months on her coaching journey. So I'm going to take a few minutes to catch up with Ilse, see how the journey's been for her, and to see some of the learnings that she can share with you. So, morning, Ilse. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, excellent. We've been working together for about 3 months now, and I'm keen if you could just tell me a little bit about what your life looked like before starting our coaching program together. What were you struggling with? What were the kind of sticky bits for you, Ilse?
I think some of the hardest bits were just some of the people related. We're doing a lot of work with having to deal with a lot of people, a lot of change management, which meant that there was some resistance in some areas, some steps of the way. So I think that was quite challenging when you're trying to get through all your other work as well. And then also, I think just because of everything that was going on, I had a number of tasks on my plate, and so having to deal with people means you need to actually put time aside to really think about it. And I didn't really it was just struggling with time to be able to get through all of that and approach that in the right way. So yeah, that was probably where I was struggling most.
That's been the theme throughout our sessions together, hasn't it? It's been the people, not the task. We've worked around that quite a bit. If it's just the task, that would be fine, but the tasks involve people, and that's the struggle. Interesting. So from your own perspective, you talked a little bit there about resistance of said people. In your own mind, was there any resistance you had before committing to working with a High Definition U coach?
Yeah, I'd probably say there was a little bit. I think mainly just because I was already so busy with so many other tasks. I think time was a big issue for me because I just was like, I didn't quite know how to put the time aside to be able to give it the value that it needed to get and the time it needed when there were so many other things going on and so many balls in the air. So I think that was probably where I had the biggest resistance, just was realizing that I'm going to have to put the time aside for it.
How are you going to fit this in? And when we first met, you were in Cape Town and now you're in London. So not only the work things, the actual life admin of changing continent, not just city. Yeah. So what's changed, or what results have you personally seen since we've started working together?
I think for me, the biggest result has been realizing that we're all different. I mean, and I knew this, but I think just seeing the different types of characters and being able to see that we are all different people. We have different strengths. Some are passive, some are, not more aggressive. Some, and we all have different types of styles of working as well. So, and different approaches work better with certain groups of people. So I think that has been a help for me to be able to realize sometimes one just needs to spend the time, step back and analyze what is the person you're working with. What are they like? Who are they? And that'll help you then with the style, and then also with what kind of person they are, which will help you in approaching them so that you can approach them in a way that they are comfortable with, because then they can receive the message that you've got to give them.
Interesting. And so was there an aha moment in that realization?
Yeah, I think it was when you went through one of those sessions on the different colors, you use colors on people and different types of characters. I think that was where it was a bit like, oh, okay, if you just take that time, because I think you get so busy, you don't take the time to step back. You just want to deal with the person, sort out the situation that they are querying or resisting or whatever it may be. And sometimes you just need to step back and say, okay, hang on, step back. What kind of person are they? How is the best way to approach them? Is that going to be via email? Is it going to be a call? And then even how to word those emails. So we did that exercise on words and how people can interpret words in a different way. That was another aha moment.
You did 7 small words with 7 very different meanings.
Yeah, because I think I'd been experiencing that situation where someone had been interpreting things the way they wanted to interpret something. That was not what was meant at all. Mm-hmm. And then when we tried to explain it to them in words, it got interpreted wrongly again. Mm-hmm. I just needed to give them do a little example and show them in a practical example what we were meaning, So and then that example of the 7 words made me realize those kind of sometimes people react and it's just because they've interpreted what you've said in a different way. So just try and explain it differently and see if the reaction is different then. So, yeah.
So what do you think is now possible that at the start of our journey seemed to be impossible?
I guess just I've always enjoyed working with people, and that's always been one of my strengths, but I think I'm kind of one of those people who tends to sort of submit to people and not stand up for things. And I think now what I've learned is sometimes it's okay to stand up for what you believe, just try and express it in a different way. You know, don't submit automatically. If you really feel strongly that something is the right way to do something and there's resistance to it, just try and tackle it from a different direction or a different approach, and consider them as a person and what kind of person are they, to see how is that best approach going to be.
And I think that's it from a work context, but also just from a life in general, isn't it? Just interactions with anybody. It doesn't have to be somebody at work. Yeah, absolutely. So with living life in general, what does living life in high definition mean for you?
For me, I think it's the stepping back. I think I've learned that I'm one of those people, I'm very quick, so I want to get things done and ticked off the box. I think it comes with having so many things to do, and just my character as well. And I think I've learned that living life is to step back. Sometimes take the time you need for yourself. Sometimes you need to just take time out. Sometimes in the middle of the day, just go for a walk, and rather than react to something or respond immediately to something, just take the time out. Tomorrow's another day. A couple of hours later is another time. It doesn't, it's not going to end everything. And then your approach to it is going to be quite different as well, because you've taken the time out. I think that's what living life for me is from high definition.
And what is it in the way that we've worked together that's allowed you to achieve those results?
I don't know, I guess just the openness, and then the examples that have been given, and just, I think just being able to talk to someone actually as well just helps.
It's been fun, hasn't it? I think we've had a right laugh. It's been brilliant. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. It makes you realize that you're not alone. When you realize that someone else, when you come back with answers so quickly, you realize, okay, well, obviously other people have had the same issues as you and experienced the same situations as you. And it's okay to be it's okay to be in those situations. It's okay. And just to have an independent person to talk to has been good.
It's really interesting, because the industry you work in, or, the country you live in, male, it really doesn't matter. Everybody's facing similar things that are unique to them, and I think that's really exciting and interesting. So what's really surprised or delighted you in the coaching experience that you've had?
I didn't really know. I don't think I had really much expectations, because I'd never done this before. So I don't think I had an expectation of what was going to achieve, what it was about. But I think what has surprised me or delighted me, I guess, is just, again, coming back to the key points, is just realizing we're different people, and we have to learn to listen to one another. We have to learn to read what another person is like, try and understand what they like, because it makes them for a better working relationship, easier working relationship, and to realize that we all have strengths and weaknesses. But then also, I think the delight of just knowing that it's okay to need to take your own time. I think sometimes we get so busy with work, and we know that in the background, but we get so busy that we forget that actually in the busyness, we actually have to keep time for ourselves. Otherwise, we can't actually keep going. We can't keep doing what we're doing.
And it's interesting that it was the people, not the task, was the challenge. And now the people that are the delight, which we've got our head around these different people. Actually, that's quite delightful to be able to work at that. That's really interesting. Brilliant. So what 3 words, could be more than 3 if you want, but if you want to choose 3, what 3 words would you choose to describe your high definition you coaching experience?
Freeing.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Enlightening. And at times exposing, because I think you see who you are, but exposing in a positive way, because it's good to know who we are and we see where we need to, just spend time to see how to take our weaknesses and turn them into positive experiences and strengths.
Ilse, I love that. Freeing, enlightening, and exposing. It's such a spectrum, isn't it? And it really has been
covers everything.
That's brilliant. Okay, and if you could use one word or phrase to describe where you were at the start and where you are now, what would that be?
One word.
Or phrase.
I'd probably use the phrase. I'd say in the start I was stressed and anxious. And now I've realized I'm being at the moment just taking each day as it comes. It's just been more freeing again.
From stressed and anxious to freeing. So that's really powerful. That's brilliant. And if there was someone considering taking the step to invest in coaching with High Definition You, what would be the advice you would give that person?
Don't be anxious and afraid to do it, because I think for me, it's speaking to someone you don't know, especially if you're a quieter, shyer person. It's hard, but it's actually not that hard when you do it. The thought of it is harder than the actual doing. And what you get out of it is a very positive experience. So
brilliant. I have absolutely genuinely loved working with you, Ilse. It's been such a journey, I think, literal and figuratively, from Cape Town across the seas into London and into the kind of the work challenges that you've absolutely taken your stride the whole way through. And congrats to you for developing and being really open-minded.
Well, thank you.
It's been fun. I know, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Well, I absolutely wish you all the very best. I really do, and I hope you keep in contact with me so we can see that journey kind of continuing.
I'll have to maybe get some pictures of your seaside every time I start getting a little stressed out and anxious.
Just WhatsApp me. Say I need a picture of the sea. I'll take either a kid or the dog to the beach and message you back. I promise, and it's on video now, so I promise that is my oath to you if you ever need a picture of the sea.
It was lovely to meet you. I'm sure I'll be in contact.
I hope so. I really do hope so. Take care.
Okay. Bye.